السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن والاه وبعد. Welcome to CPSA's Daily Morning Assembly.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. أصبحنا وأصبح الملك لله والحمد لله لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير. ربي أسألك خير ما في هذا اليوم وخير ما بعده وأعوذ بك من شر هذا اليوم وشر ما بعده. ربي أعوذ بك من الكسل وسوء الكبر. ربي أعوذ بك من عذاب في النار وعذاب في القبر. We've reached the morning, and at this very time unto Allah belongs all authority, and all praises for Allah. None has the right to be worshipped except Allah, alone without partner. To Him belongs all control and praise, and He is over all things powerful. My Lord, I ask You for the good of this day and the good of what follows it. May I take refuge in You from the evil of this day and the evil of what follows it. My Lord, I take refuge in You from laziness and senility. My Lord, I take refuge in You from torment in the fire and punishment in the grave. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. In the name of Allah, with whose name nothing is harmed on earth nor in the heavens, and He is the all-seeing, the all-knowing. رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد نبيا. I am pleased with Allah as the Lord, and Islam is religion, and Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is a prophet. اللهم إني أسألك علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا. O Allah, I ask You for beneficial knowledge, goodly provision, and acceptable deeds. Ameen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jazakumullah khairan Hussein for doing the recitation and the translation. Inshallah, we want to make a special dua for Ms. Huma Zia, the mock trial coach. MashaAllah, she's been with our school for a long time and put in a lot of hours, and MashaAllah, led our school to great success, even at the state level. Her father passed away earlier today, and his janazah will be today at Islamic Foundation, inshallah ta'ala. So we'll make dua for him and for her and for the whole family, inshallah ta'ala. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Malik yawm al-Din. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'een. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم اغفر لحينا وميتنا وشاهدنا وغائبنا وصغيرنا وكبيرنا وذكرنا وانثانا. اللهم من أحييته منا فأحيي على الإسلام ومن توفيت منا فتوفه على الإيمان. اللهم اغفر له وارحمه وعافه واعف عنه وأكرم نزله وأسع مدخله واغسله بالماء والثلج والبرد. اللهم نقه من الذنوب والخطايا كما ينقى الثوب الأبيض من الدنس. اللهم أبدل له دارا خيرا من داره وأهلا خيرا من أهله وأزواجا خيرا من أزواجه. اللهم اجعل قبره روضة من رياض الجنة ولا تجعل قبره حفرة من حفر النيران. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through His beautiful names and His glorious attributes that He grants Sister Huma's father Jannat al-Firdaus. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to illuminate his grave. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to ease his questioning. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make his grave a garden from the gardens of paradise and not a pit from the pits of the hellfire. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to reunite him with his family in Jannat al-Firdaus. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant his family patience, comfort, and support. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, anyone in our community or ummah that has passed away, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants him Jannat al-Firdaus. And anyone that is ill, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them a complete shifa, a shifa after which there is no illness. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, anyone going through any type of difficulty or hardship, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala replaces those difficulties and hardships with ease. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make things easy for our brothers and sisters in Gaza. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow them to get the humanitarian aid that they need. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect them from anyone that wants to do harm to them. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept from us all. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Another thing that inshallah we want to talk about, I asked Ifra to come on. Many of us have heard that Rosalind Carter, former vice president, passed away in the last couple of days. And inshallah, Ifra is going to talk a little bit about her, inshallah ta'ala. First lady, sorry. Vice President, First Lady.
Welcome. So Sunday, we lowered our flags to half staff for the death of former First Lady Rosalind Carter. Although in an unelected position, the First Lady is often an important social leader and moral leader of the entire country if she chooses to be, and Rosalind Carter decided to be that leader. Next slide. She was a smart, independent, and family-oriented person who saw the sad downfall of the Nixon presidency and brought her own business expertise to help her husband's presidential campaign. Instead of just staying at her husband's side the entire time, she was the first to travel and speak separately across the country to gather more support for him. She created the first official office of the First Lady with 4 departments and a permanent section of the East Wing. Next slide. It's rare for the First Lady to become more famous or important after her term, but that's what Rosalind did as she became an international activist for the homeless, family caretakers, and the desperate need for mental health federal funding and aid. Next slide. She wasn't perfect and made mistakes like disagreeing on Panama's independence, but one place where she was attacked nonstop was for her and her husband's pro-Palestinian stance. She recognized the evil and harms of the occupation. She had her organization even release calling for a ceasefire and condemning all the killings in Gaza. It said, "We will not learn to live together in peace by killing each other's children." Next slide. Rosalind Carter spoke out, visited Palestine in her 80s, and tried to be the moral leader of our country, which we needed decades after leaving her office. She will be remembered for her courage and love of people. She famously said, "Do what you can to show you care about other people, and you will make our world a better place." May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant her peace to Palestine and the world. Ameen. Next.
So, Mike, you have another slide? Sorry, my mistake. 1 second.
I think that's it. But Jazakallah khair for listening. And inshallah, the forensics team and all the students at CPSA remember the importance of speaking out on the issues that matter.
Jazakumullah khairan, Ifra and Rasim and the whole forensics team for reminding us about the importance of speaking out and taking inspiration from others. Jazakumullah khairan, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Inshallah, the announcements we'll make during Salah time. Ms. Mackenzie has an announcement here. Please donate generously to the Winter Drive. Clothing will go to the needy people in the local area through ICNA Relief. Boxes are in both main offices, inshallah ta'ala. And make sure that the clothes and the codes that are donated are of good quality, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. Take care, everybody. Subhanaka bihamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.